When it comes to flat earthers getting annoyed, we can take it with absolute certainty that it happens all of the time. But usually the irritation comes from us flat earth debunkers, and they make no apologies for expressing that. However, recently a flat earther took offence from an organisation and he is not happy. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, D Marble is back and he is not a happy flat earther as he has taken offence to the following advert. Now, you have to give Culturelle their dues here as this advert is 100% factually correct, assuming of course that the science is used to make their products. However, D Marble disagrees and he is highlighting a video made by another flat earther who, would you believe it, calls the company. Here we go, guys.
It is Flat Earth Friday and I would like to give a shout out to a man by the name of Jim.
Hang on, Flat Earth Friday is my show. What is D playing at?
Who decided that he would make a personal phone call to Culturelle's marketing department to file a grievance about a recent anti-flat earth ad that they put out. Check this out.
Now, before we play this bit, the guy in question, Jim, is another flat earther and he recently tracked down a guy called Michael Smith, an elderly gentleman who just so happens to have the same name as the Michael Smith that died in the Challenger disaster.
I was pulling out and I saw you. I just came by to... Are you Michael Smith?
Yeah.
Professor at university?
Retired.
Retired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just stopped by because there's this room. Are you aware of that there's a rumor on the internet?
It's not me.
That people are saying...
Yeah, it's not me, obviously. I mean, anybody that looks at my background, looks where I was born, it's not me. I mean, it's interesting that the Michael J. Smith that was the astronaut looks something like me when we were younger, but really not if you really look at facial recognition.
You've never been a pilot, never been in the military?
Nothing like that.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I don't respond to the emails I get. I get probably an email, maybe 2 a month.
Really?
And I got one guy that's been really hounding me, and I turned it over to the FBI.
I mean, how disrespectful can you get? Not only to not think that people died in this disaster, but to then bother an elderly man off the back of some shoddy conspiracy theory with no evidence whatsoever is quite simply abhorrent. So now we know the calibre of person that we're dealing with here.
I was calling about some advertising I saw from your company. I don't know, maybe you're aware of it. It's about flat earth. It says flat earth theory, zero science, and Culturelle, all science.
Good one.
Yep, I'm familiar with it. May I have your name so I know who I'm speaking with?
This is Jim.
Oh, bless her. She knows what's coming, doesn't she?
Thanks, Jim. And just in case we get disconnected, is there a telephone number I'd be able to call you back on?
Do you have my number? Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Okay, how may I help you with the advertisement, the flat earth advertisement?
Well, are you actually aware of any science that says the earth is either spherical or spinning?
Wow, straight in there with the big questions, Jim.
I mean, I did not personally create the ad. I can certainly forward any feedback, but that doesn't necessarily reflect my knowledge or beliefs as a consumer resource representative.
Very professionally stated, and of course she didn't design the advert, and she has no sway whatsoever in whether or not the advert can be pulled. It seems like Jim needs to speak to someone a little bit more higher up.
Well, maybe somebody in your company somewhere has some evidence that the earth is a sphere.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I wouldn't know, but any feedback you have, I can certainly forward it, Jim.
Well, I want actually, if you say there's zero science, I think you should back up that claim. Otherwise, it's basically false advertising, isn't it?
No, Jim, it is not.
Claim that there's zero science, and it's kind of crazy. I've been looking into it a few years, and all evidence points to flat and motionless. So,
Oh, you mean all that evidence that's brought forward by YouTubers who don't understand physics? That evidence? Right.
that's why I'm calling, because on what grounds are you saying that it's a spinning sphere?
On the grounds that it is, and people have seen it with their own eyes.
I mean, if you could give some reason, if you're just going to say zero science, then I think there should be some reason given, scientific reason given. Maybe you could have something on your website or something, because, and by science, I mean something with a dependent and an independent variable, something that's testable, observable, repeatable,
In the company's defence here, they are saying that there's zero science in the flat earth theory, which there isn't. They're not saying anything about the fact that the earth is a globe.
Okay, well, I'll forward that feedback about the webpage, about your feelings on the advertisement. We by no means meant to offend, but we are always open to feedback. It's how we know exactly what you guys want to see, what you don't want to see, so I do appreciate that, Jim. It will make its way to my brand team.
What a lovely lady.
So, my question is, why are all these celebrities, actors, politicians, companies, what's the hang up? What's the big deal? What's so wrong about people believing that they don't live on a globe, that so many have to go out of their way to make a mockery of flat earth?
It is because of all the stuff that comes with it, D-Marble. The anti-science, the correcting things which don't need to be corrected. It is a horrifically successful gateway conspiracy that leads to far more dangerous ones. That is why.
That whole idea that flat earth has zero science, that's ridiculous. There's Michelson Morley, there's Michelson Gale, there's Sagnac, there's Aries Failure, the Bedford Level experiment. There's simply looking outside of a window when you're on a plane. Neil deGrasse Tyson even told you, that stuff is flat concerning Felix Baumgartner's Red Bull jump from the edge of space.
All of which has been misinterpreted by you guys, D.
And, I mean, the science actually supports flat earth.
It really doesn't, and I'm sorry to have to tell you that.
And the marketing department should be a little more careful about this stuff, because, I mean, that could be looked at as false advertising.
It absolutely cannot.
Because I don't think they really thought that through. They should probably be more careful in the future with that type of thing. But
I think they did think it through and produced a bloody funny advert.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Jim for putting that phone call in and taking these people to task about that particular advertisement. And the question at this point, and I've been asking this question for a while, why the censorship? Why continuously attack flat earth?
Because it is an absolute load of cobblers. We have the exact same right to free speech as you do, and I'm using it to say that the flat earth theory is balderdash.
If the idea is so ridiculous, if it's been debunked so many times, if we're just crazy, like, what's the point in continuously coming after us? Why is YouTube, going out and making it harder to get flat earth videos available?
Because you are not listening to the debunkings. You are just hand-wave dismissing them.
You go on the search, you type in flat earth, and you're going to get a bunch of hit pieces, you're going to get a bunch of mockery.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Why switch up the algorithms? Why are these companies coming after flat earthers and trying to discredit? I think I know why, because we're kind of onto something. If we weren't a threat, there wouldn't be a need for censorship.
You keep telling yourself that, D, as long as it makes you feel better about wasting the last 5 years of your life. Right, let's finish that one here today, and let's leave D Marble to his Culturelle. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed it today, then please do like and subscribe. It would be thoroughly appreciated. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for some of that fantastic guy that we all know and love to be Nathan Thompson. See you then.